Well, hey there, friendships. Welcome back to Curtis' Corner. If you're new here, hi, I'm Curtis. This is my corner. It has been a bit of a minute, but I'm back. I've been either super busy, super, under the weather, super poor, many reasons. But I thought I would give you another review because it's Monday. You want to know movie opinions. You want to know what's been out, what everyone's thinking of said movie. So here we go. We are going to jump in. We're going to get right into it. I'm not going to hold you here long enough. We're going to talk about Maxxxine, the third film in the X trilogy, directed by Ty West, starring Mia Goth. It also has Kevin Bacon in it. It's got Halsey. So, we're going to jump in. We're going to roll that intro. I'll give you my little spiel, and then we'll get to it. Keep watching. So like I said, we are going to be talking about Maxxxine, but before we jump into things, as per usual, give this video a like if you like movie reviews. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for videos. I'm not going to say weekly because it has been a bit of a minute since I've been here, but do subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you know when I do post a brand new video. And in the description box below, there is a link to my Patreon, $1 only, $2 if you're Canadian. You can see all my stuff earlier than everyone else, and it's all completely unedited. It's nice and raw footage for you. So yeah, it's great. You should join it. You should show your support. Okay, so we're gonna jump into things. So like I said, Maxxxine is the third film in the X franchise. It started with X, followed up with Pearl, which was a prequel to give you some backstory, and now Maxxxine is solely centered around Maxxine Minx herself and is a sequel to X, technically. This takes place 6 years after X, because I believe that one took place in 1979. This one takes place in 1985. Maxxxine is now trying to dive into Hollywood, getting her starring role in some films, and like the trailer shows, she does end up getting the role that she's auditioning for. There are some real life aspects thrown in, but they are not the focus of the film. They do involve the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, that was active and present and a real serial killer in the 1980s in West Hollywood. But there is a mystery aspect of the whole film, who you're trying to find out who is stalking Maxxxine and everyone around her. There are some minuscule clues throughout the film of who it could be, but what I will say is the payoff of the reveal is not that satisfying. I found that 80% of this film was really well done. The execution of what is happening. Is this the Night Stalker? Is it someone different? That aspect, wonderful. Mia Goth's performance, absolutely terrific. The practical effects that they choose to go for, amazing looking. They looked phenomenal, and that is one thing that I really love about these Ty West movies, is that he's very practical, very hands-on, and just wants everything to feel as real as possible. The storyline is very straightforward. There's nothing that really goes under the surface like they do in X or with Pearl. There was definitely some subtext and everything with those ones, whereas this one, it seems very superficial. Not to say that that's a bad thing. This could be one of your favorite films of the entire trilogy. Mine, personally, is Pearl. I like that one a lot more. I like the themes of X more than Pearl, but I like Pearl as a whole more than X, more than Maxxxine. Maxxxine, I was hoping to really come out of it loving it, and while it's good, it's just not up to par with what Ty West has presented us with the previous two. There are things that do kind of callbacks to X, and there's flashbacks, but they don't really hold a whole lot of merit because it's happening in the moment, but then after that moment is done, they kind of brush past it and move on with the rest of the story. So it never really lingers and shows kind of like this hard, resonating feeling with her, and you just kind of feel like she's done with it and she's put it all in the past. When by the third act, it's kind of revealing that she isn't letting go of that. Not that that's a spoiler, because it's very heavily implied that she's supposed to be holding on to all of these feelings, but they never really touch on it as much as they could have, and it never really affects her throughout the runtime of the film, I found. Kevin Bacon's performance was fine. I would say, if anyone has ever read or seen The Exorcist, my feeling towards the private detective that Kevin Bacon plays is the same feeling that I had towards the chief of police or detective from The Exorcist, both the book and the movie. I hated that character so much. I found they were just there to be there and annoying and irritating. He bothered me so much. He was good. He was good at what he was doing, but his character himself irritated me. Hated. Halsey, honestly, wish Halsey had a bigger role in it. The small, minuscule, maybe 5 minutes that she had on the screen. 8 minutes that she had on screen were good. They could have been better if she had a longer time in the film. I was really hopeful that she had a bigger role in this, and she was completely sidelined. Same with Lily Collins. That was such almost like a bait and switch. Very Psycho-esque, where it's showing like, oh, big name in the movie, keep a watch for her, and then she's like barely in it at all. Not a fan of that. If you're going to have these big people, either give them more of a role or give them a more substantial part in the film. They were very much throwaway characters, and I did not like that at all in this film. Otherwise, is there a promise for future films in this franchise? They leave it open-ended enough to warrant more if the need is there, if the story can be written about it. I wouldn't hate seeing another entry in this, as long as it gives some substance, as long as it gives some like background, under text of everything. I need things more like X and Pearl, especially more like Pearl, because that one I found was so good, and the subtext surrounding that film was really well done. I need the subtext to be stronger or equally as strong as X, but a delivery as strong or stronger as Pearl. That is what I need. A combination of the two, and that's what Maxxxine should have been. But it just didn't hit that mark. It is definitely my least favorite in the franchise, but this is not one of my favorite franchises to begin with in the first place. It's a franchise that's out there that it's a good franchise. All three movies are good in their own way. It's just, if you're comparing them to each other, Maxxxine is at the bottom of the list. There is also, I want to give a warning, not a spoiler warning, it's a viewing warning. There is a sequence where there's like a club scene and there is a lot of strobe lights. If strobe lights affect you, or you're worried that they might affect you in one way or another, no matter how severe or mild the symptoms could be, do not see this film, because there is a sequence that's like 2-3 minutes long of just strobe lights. And yeah, I didn't have to turn away, like I've heard some people have to turn away from, but it was starting to irritate my eyes and my head a little bit. So there is that warning. With all of that being said, I'm going to give Maxxxine a B. It's fine. It is a decent sequel. It is a decent possible end to this franchise, but it could potentially spawn off into more films as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this review. If you did, make sure you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you know when I'm posting brand new videos, and I will see everyone on the next video. But until then, goodbye, friendships.